The bullet tears through the Seoul night before anyone hears the gunshot. Amara Johnson doesn't see it coming. 1 second, she's handing a delivery bag to the hostess at Lotus Sky Lounge, apologizing for being late because her scooter had a flat tire in Itaewon. The next second, her chest explodes with pain so sharp she can't even scream. She just gasps, stumbles backward, and watches her own blood bloom across her yellow delivery jacket like spilled wine. The world tilts. People are screaming. The elegant restaurant erupts into chaos as suited men pull guns from inside their jackets and scan the rooftops. Amara tries to understand what's happening, but her legs give out and she crumples onto the polished marble floor. Her vision blurs. Through the haze, she sees a man in a charcoal suit step toward her, his face sharp and expressionless. "Get her inside," he says calmly, like ordering coffee. Strong hands lift her. She wants to protest, to tell them she needs a hospital, but her mouth won't form words. Everything goes black. When Amara opens her eyes again, she's not in a hospital. She's lying on a massive bed in a room that looks like it belongs in a luxury hotel. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook the glittering Seoul skyline. Her shoulder throbs with pain, but when she touches it, she feels professional bandages, not the sticky warmth of blood. And 4 drip stands beside the bed, clear fluid flowing into her arm. "You're awake." She jerks her head toward the voice and immediately regrets it as pain shoots down her neck. The man in the charcoal suit stands near the window, his hands in his pockets. Up close, he's younger than she thought, maybe early 30s, with the kind of face that would be handsome if it weren't so cold. "Where am I?" Amara's voice cracks. "Who are you?" "You're safe. That's all you need to know right now." Safe. She tries to sit up, but her body protests. "I was shot. I need a hospital. I need to call my roommate. You need to stay quiet and heal." His tone doesn't change, but something in his eyes sharpens. "The bullet wasn't meant for you. You were in the wrong place at the wrong time. But now that you've been shot outside my establishment, certain people will assume you mean something to me. I don't even know you. That won't matter to them." He finally moves closer, and Amara notices how carefully he walks, like a predator trying not to startle prey. "My name is Ryu Minjae. The restaurant you were delivering to is mine. The bullet was meant for me. You took it instead." Amara's mind races. She remembers the news stories her roommate Sarah sometimes talks about, whispered rumors about certain restaurants in Gangnam being fronts for organized crime. She'd never paid attention because it seemed like something from movies, not real life. Not her life. "So what happens now?" she asks, hating how small her voice sounds. "Now you stay here until I've dealt with the people who want me dead. If they think you're important to me, they'll try to use you. I won't let that happen." "You're keeping me prisoner?" For the first time, something almost like emotion crosses his face. "I'm keeping you alive." Before Amara can respond, Minjae turns and walks out, leaving her alone in the beautiful cage. 3 days pass. Amara heals faster than she expected, though her shoulder still aches when she moves too quickly. She's not allowed to leave the penthouse, but she's not exactly restrained either. Silent guards stand outside her door, but they bring her whatever food she asks for. She requests jollof rice and plantains just to see if they can find it, and somehow they do. The penthouse itself is strange. Luxurious but cold, like a showroom nobody actually lives in. Except for one corner near the kitchen where she finds a small shrine with photos of a young woman who looks a bit like Minjae and a bowl of fresh oranges placed carefully in front. She's examining the shrine when Minjae appears behind her. "My sister," he says quietly. "She died 5 years ago. Cancer." Amara turns to face him, surprised by the crack in his armor. "I'm sorry." "She wanted me to go legitimate. Open a real restaurant, not a front. She said I was better than the life I'd chosen." He picks up one of the oranges, turns it over in his hands. "She was wrong. This is all I know." It's the most human thing she's heard him say. Amara takes a risk. It's not too late to choose something different. Minjae's eyes meet hers, and for a moment, she sees something like longing there. Then his expression hardens again. "In my world, Changing course gets you killed. The sharks smell blood in the water the moment you show weakness. Is protecting me weakness? To them? Yes. That night, Amara overhears a conversation she's not supposed to hear. She's getting water from the kitchen when voices carry from Min-jae's office down the hall. Boss, Chun Ehao's people have been asking questions about the girl. The voice belongs to one of the guards, a man with a scar across his jaw. They think she's your woman. They're calling her your vulnerability. Then we control the narrative. Min-jae's voice is steady. Let them think she's nobody. A random courier who got caught in crossfire. They won't believe that. Not after you brought her here. Not after you've kept her for 3 days. Silence. Then Min-jae speaks again, softer now. What would you have me do? Throw her to the wolves to prove she means nothing? I'm saying maybe she already does mean something. And that's dangerous. Amara's heart pounds. She retreats to her room before anyone notices her, but sleep doesn't come easy. She keeps thinking about what the guard said. She's become a liability just by existing in Min-jae's space. And worse, she's starting to understand him in ways that terrify her. If you're still watching, thank you for sticking with Amara's story. What happens next will change everything. Make sure you're subscribed because part 2 drops next week and you won't want to miss it. The next morning, Min-jae asks her to join him for breakfast. It's the first time he's invited her to anything, and Amara is suspicious. But she's also tired of being alone with her thoughts. They sit at a table overlooking the city. He's made eggs and toast himself, no servants, no guards. Just the two of them. Why are you being nice to me now? Amara asks. I'm not nice. I'm practical. But there's something softer in his voice. You've been here almost a week. You haven't tried to escape, haven't tried to call anyone, haven't made things difficult. I appreciate that. Would you have hurt me if I did? No, the answer comes quickly, firmly. I don't hurt civilians. That's a line I've never crossed. But you hurt other people. Min-jae sets down his coffee. Yes. People in my world. People who know the rules and choose to play the game anyway. That's different. Is it? Amara meets his eyes. Or is that just what you tell yourself so you can sleep at night? For a long moment, he doesn't respond. Then he surprises her. You're right. It is what I tell myself. Because if I think too hard about the things I've done, I'll fall apart. And I can't afford to fall apart. The honesty catches her off guard. Amara takes a breath. So, what's your plan? Keep me here forever. I'm working on something. A negotiation with the triads. I'll give them some territory, some business, enough to satisfy their hunger. In exchange, they leave you alone. They leave me alone. Everyone walks away breathing. And if they don't accept? Min-jae's jaw tightens. Then I handle it the way I've always handled threats. Violence. Survival. That afternoon, everything changes. Amara is reading by the window when she hears shouting from another room. She moves into the hallway and sees Min-jae standing over a man tied to a chair, blood dripping from the man's mouth. Who sent you? Min-jae's voice is ice. The man spits blood. You're weak now, Ryu. Everyone knows it. The girl made you soft. Min-jae doesn't hesitate. He pulls a knife from his jacket and drives it through the man's hand, pinning it to the chair's armrest. The man screams. Amara gasps, and Min-jae's head snaps toward her. Their eyes lock. She sees the monster he warned her about, the side of him that lives in darkness. But she also sees the flicker of shame in his expression, like he didn't want her to witness this. She runs back to her room and locks the door, her whole body shaking. Hours later, there's a soft knock. Amara. Please open the door. Go away. I need to explain. You don't need to explain anything. I saw exactly who you are. Silence. Then his voice, quieter now, almost pleading. That man was sent to kill you. He got past my security by pretending to be a delivery driver. He had a gun and your photo. If I hadn't stopped him, you'd be dead right now. Amara's hand freezes on the doorknob. What? Open the door. Please. She does slowly. Min-jae stands there looking exhausted, his shirt sleeves rolled up, traces of someone else's blood still on his hands. He's holding a phone, and on the screen is a photo of Amara leaving her apartment building in Hongdae, taken from across the street. They know where you live, he says. They know your routine. They're coming for you, and they won't stop until they've used you to destroy me. Amara's legs feel weak. What do I do? You trust me. And you let me end this before it gets worse. She looks into his eyes and sees something she didn't expect. Genuine fear. Not for himself, but for her. And despite everything, despite the violence and the blood and the darkness, she realizes she does trust him. Maybe she's crazy. Maybe this whole situation has broken her brain. But she trusts him. Okay, she whispers. What's the plan? Min-jae explains it over the next hour. He's arranged a meeting with Chen Yihao, the triad leader who's been pushing for war. Min-jae will offer a substantial olive branch, 3 of his best businesses, a cut of his import operations, and a formal apology for past disrespect. It's more than generous. It's practically surrender. They'll see it as weakness. His lieutenant warns during the strategy session that Amara is now somehow part of. They'll push for more. Let them think I'm weak, Min-jae says. As long as they leave her alone, I don't care what they think. Amara speaks up, surprising everyone including herself. What if I have a different idea? All eyes turn to her. Min-jae frowns. What are you talking about? They want to use me against you, right? So let them try. Let me be the bait. Absolutely not. Listen to me. Amara stands up, her voice growing stronger. If I disappear from your protection, if I'm out in the open, they'll come for me. You'll know exactly when and where. You can be ready. You can end this with one move instead of giving away half your empire and still never knowing if they'll honor the deal. The room erupts in argument. Half of Min-jae's men think it's suicide. The other half think it's brilliant. But Min-jae just stares at Amara like he's seeing her for the first time. No, he says finally. I won't risk you. It's not your choice. It's mine. Amara walks closer to him, her voice dropping so only he can hear. You saved my life. Let me save yours. Something breaks in his expression. If anything happens to you, it won't, because you'll make sure it doesn't. The plan comes together over 2 days. Min-jae contacts an old friend in the Korean organized crime unit, a detective named Park who's been trying to bring down the triads for years. In exchange for immunity and cooperation, Min-jae will help set up the biggest bust in Seoul's recent history. Amara will be the lure. This is insane, Sarah tells her when Amara finally calls her roommate to explain why she's been gone. You're going to get yourself killed for some crime boss? He's not just some crime boss, Amara says, then stops herself. When did she start defending him? Look, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm already in this. The only way out is through. You like him, Sarah accuses. Oh my God, you like him? That's not what this is about. Are you sure? Because from where I'm sitting, it sounds like you're catching feelings for a guy who literally tortures people. Amara doesn't have an answer for that. Because maybe Sarah's right. Maybe somewhere between the fear and the blood and the strange tenderness Min-jae shows when he thinks nobody's watching, she has developed feelings. Feelings that make no sense. Feelings that could get her killed. I have to go, she says quietly. If something happens to me, my mom's number is in my journal. Tell her I love her. Amara, wait. But she's already hung up. The day arrives. Amara walks out of the penthouse wearing normal clothes, a backpack over her shoulder like she's just another immigrant worker heading to her shift. Min-jae's men follow at a distance, invisible but present. Detective Park's team is positioned throughout Gangnam, ready to move the moment the triads show themselves. Amara's heart hammers as she walks through Myeongdong, pretending to shop. Every face in the crowd could be a threat. Every car that slows down could be them. She thinks about her mother back in Lagos, about her little brother who wants to be a doctor, about all the ordinary dreams she had before a bullet changed everything. She's about to give up and call the whole thing off when a black van pulls up beside her. The door slides open. 2 men grab her before she can scream, pulling her inside. A cloth covers her mouth and nose, chemical sweet and suffocating. Her last thought before darkness takes her is a prayer in Yoruba. Orimi ma bimi. My destiny will carry me. She wakes up in a warehouse that smells like fish and rust. Her hands are zip-tied behind her back. Chun Yi-hao stands in front of her, older than she expected, with gray in his hair and eyes like dead fish. The delivery girl, he says in accented English. Ryu Min-jae's new pet. Do you know how much you're worth? I'm nobody, Amara says, trying to keep her voice steady. I just delivered food. That's all. Liar. Yi-hao backhands her, and her head snaps to the side. Blood fills her mouth. He kept you for 2 weeks. Protected you. Changed his entire approach because of you. You're everything. Then you're stupider than I thought. The words come out before Amara can stop them. Yi-hao's face darkens. What did you say? I said you're stupid. You think I'm his weakness? I'm his trap. And you walked right into it. Yi-hao hesitates for just a second, and that's when the warehouse doors explode inward. This is it. Don't go anywhere. Part 2 continues the story in the most explosive way possible. Hit subscribe right now so you don't miss what happens next. The link is in the description. What happens next is chaos. Gunfire erupts from every direction. Amara throws herself to the ground as bullets tear through the air above her. She sees Min-jae moving through the smoke like a ghost, precise and lethal. She sees Detective Park's unit swarming in with tactical gear and flashing lights. She sees Yi-hao reaching for a gun. No, she screams. Min-jae's head turns toward her voice. In that split second of distraction, one of Yi-hao's men fires. The bullet catches Min-jae in the side, spinning him around. He goes down. Something primal awakens in Amara. She lurches to her feet despite her tied hands and runs at Yi-hao, slamming into him with her shoulder. He stumbles backward, and Detective Park is there in an instant, forcing him to the ground. The firefight ends as suddenly as it started. Bodies lie scattered. Sirens wail outside. And Min-jae is bleeding on the concrete floor. Amara drops to her knees beside him, her hands still bound. No, 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 stay with me. His eyes flutter open. You were supposed to stay down. You were supposed to not get shot, you idiot. He laughs, then winces. Fair point. Paramedics rush in. They cut Amara's zip ties and start working on Min-jae. She refuses to leave his side, riding in the ambulance with him, holding his hand as they race through Seoul streets. His blood soaks her clothes, but she doesn't care. Why did you do it? She asks. Why did you come for me yourself? You could have sent your men. Because, Min-jae says, his voice weak but clear. Somewhere along the way, this stopped being about obligation. It became about you. Her heart breaks and rebuilds itself in the same moment. The ambulance doors close. The sirens scream. And as Seoul blurs past the windows, Amara holds Min-jae's hand tighter, refusing to let go. She came to this city looking for a better life. She found something else instead. Something dangerous. Something impossible. Something worth fighting for. Will Min-jae survive? And if he does, what kind of life can they possibly build together? Find out in part 2, dropping next week. This is just the beginning of their story. Subscribe now and hit the bell so you don't miss the conclusion. Because what happens next will change everything you think you know about love, loyalty, and second chances. See you in part 2.